It's time we wake up and talk about healthcare in this country. And if you look at the two-party platforms right now, there's no interest in any kind of universal healthcare. In fact, under a Biden presidency, it would actually be less than what they wanted to accomplish under an Obama presidency. Universal healthcare. You had candidates running in this election like Andrew Yang and Howie Hawkins and others who wanted universal health care. Why do other countries pull it off so well and have a safety net for their citizenry, and yet we in the United States can't manage to do this? We're the wealthiest country in the world, well, right there with China. $25 trillion economy in the United States, and we can't figure out how to provide some sort of universal basic health care for Americans, and also preventative medicine, so we could save billions of dollars by getting our kids not to be diabetic when they're 10 years old by feeding them this crappy processed food and school lunches. It's all part of this system. But that's where we are. Richest, greatest country in the world can't get health care right during a pandemic. Well, the news of the morning is even more troubling this morning. Yeah, that's right, because the nation's uninsured is continuing to grow. According to new U.S. Census numbers out this morning, almost 30 million Americans didn't have health insurance last year. 30 million Americans, which is up nearly 1 million from the previous year. Now, a lot of this has to do with what Trump's expansion of the short-term health plans and the elimination of the unpopular individual mandate penalty got rid of that, have weakened the law's health insurance marketplaces. That's according to Politico. They're saying that, and according to the Kaiser Family Foundation, 45% of the nation's uninsured said they lacked coverage last year because the costs were too high. Affordable Care Act is what this was supposed to be. The Affordable Care Act. And with so many death by 1,000 cuts from the Trump administration on this, trying to weaken its knees, I'm reminded of, did you ever see that Monty Python, I think it was in The Holy Grail. Yeah, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, one of my favorite movies. Of course, the Black Knight, when he's fighting him and he keeps like slicing off limbs. And he's like, oh, it's just a flesh wound. He's like, what do you mean? You've got no arms. He's like, come on, you yellow belly. And he runs at him with his helmet. He doesn't have arms and he only has one leg and he's hopping on one leg. That's what this is like, what they're trying to do to the Affordable Care Act. By the way, the Affordable Care Act was not very good to begin with, as we all know. It was a Republican plan born out of Mitt Romney's Massachusetts. It was a Republican plan, and it was supported by Republicans. That should tell you how crappy this thing was to begin with. But at least it provided some level of protection for people, and certainly during a pandemic. But now, according to these latest numbers, 1 million new people are now uninsured in this country. All of this while we're in the middle of a coronavirus pandemic. And it's to blame for catastrophic unemployment rate in this country. So because people are unemployed, they don't have health care coverage from their employers. But the plans are too expensive if they're not employed for them to get these Affordable Care Act plans. Awful. Some experts say that it is because of Trump's expansion of the short-term health plans and the elimination of that unpopular individual mandate penalty. By having that in there, that has rolled this back even further. The census, though, looked at this, and I'm going to put these census numbers now, and it's pretty remarkable what they found on this. The census found that in 2019, 9.2% of the people, or 29.6 million, were not covered by health insurance at the time of their interview, according to the ACS. That's up from 8.9% and 28.6 million. So according to the Census Bureau, about 1 million more are now uninsured. And once again, what group do you think is at the top of the heap for most uninsured, most at risk in this population? You guessed it, minority groups. Once again, this time it's Latinos. They're the top group to see the largest decline in coverage among the working class, and the uninsured children, especially below the poverty level, grew by 0.5%, up to 5.7%. Children in the United States below the poverty level or at the poverty level, the amount of those children grew to 5.7% that do not have health care coverage in this country. Think about the kids in this country that need vaccines. Chickenpox vaccines, or measles, mumps, and rubella, all of those things. Now, those families don't even go to the doctor. They don't even go to the doctor if their kid gets the flu. The kid gets sick. The kid has coronavirus and they don't know about it because they don't have health insurance. According to the report, the percentage of people without health insurance increased in 19 states between 2018 and 2019. Virginia was the only state to have an increase in health insurance coverage. Hey, good on you, Virginia. How many people watching right now are from Virginia? Good. At least there they did something right. They added additional coverage there. All the states and the District of Columbia had a lower uninsured rate in 2019 than in 2010, according to the report. Think about that for a second. More people were insured in 2010 than they are in 2019. Wrap your head around that one. So the Affordable Care Act, this, corporate Affordable Care Act, Republicans slashing any kind of coverage because they don't want people insured in this country. They want people paying their big insurance companies. They want people paying all of these expensive prescription drugs and hospital bills. It's unsustainable, people. We have more people uninsured than ever before. How's the president going to address this? Right now, and I get to, you can have all the criticism. I have plenty of criticism for the Affordable Care Act. As you know, if you've watched this show for a while, you know that I do. But look, now we're almost into the fourth year of President Trump's presidency, right? This is on his watch. If you want to talk about making America great again, and he says we're going to continue to make America great, what's your plan for health care? Because if you just look at this, and I love that the Green Party threw out this, look at these differences here. Biden for president, and I'm not throwing my hat behind any kind of candidate. I'm just showing you the differences here. The Biden for president campaign, no universal health care. The Trump campaign, no universal health care. No living wage from the Biden campaign, no living wage from Trump. But we are going to continue. We are going to continue our wars in the Middle East. No intention of bringing those back. Vice Biden says he wants to continue our presence in the Middle East. Great. So we can spend trillions of dollars on foreign wars, supporting other countries, sending trillions to these other regions year after year after year, and we can't provide affordable health care in our country? Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Yeah, but you're to blame, Joe. You had an opportunity also. You had an opportunity you could have said, look, there's a groundswell movement in this country. And look, Bernie, I know you didn't make it, but it's time that this Democratic Party moves in a more progressive direction and adopts some of the things that Americans need. Do you know that most Americans, I think it's upwards of 63% of Americans, and many of them Republicans, a majority of Republicans support universal health care. That's not a losing issue. That's not a losing issue. Why don't Democrats want to support it? Because of their corporate overlords, the corporate elites. Why don't Republicans want to support it? Same reason. Lining the pockets of billionaires on Wall Street. Make no mistake about it. That's why we need a third-party candidate. We need a third voice. We need more voices, frankly, but we need a candidate, a government that works for us, not against us. But the fact that we can't provide affordable health care for our citizenry is disgusting. And we should be ashamed of ourselves as a country. Just look around the world. Everyone wants to say, oh, look at Canada. You would never want to go to Canada. Oh, yeah? Look how many people we have watching this show. Like, I know, one of our viewers, Christina, she watches us every day. Or Christine, she's from Canada. They're receiving $2,000 a month in stimulus money. They have universal health care. They're taken care of. They don't have to worry about that safety net if they lose their job. How am I going to provide medicine for my children if I lose my job? You can focus on getting another job because you have a safety net. And they're doing just fine. Look at Europe. Look at Portugal. Look at Finland. Look at Norway. Look at Denmark. You want to look at some real examples? Look there. And see how people are taken care of. And they have that safety net, and they don't have to worry about that. And we are the wealthiest country in the world, and we can't do this? Garbage. Absolute garbage.
Come on, man.
Exactly, Joe. But Joe, your party is just as much to blame as the other party. And you want to do less on health care than Obama did? Shame on you. And shame on Republicans, shame on President Trump for no universal health care during a pandemic. Something that we should step up. This should be a part of any kind of a stimulus discussion right now, and it's not. Universal health care for all, as well as a universal basic income. Let me know in the chat what you think about this. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and thank you to all of our new channel members we have here today. I really appreciate it. It's very easy to become a channel member. Just go to morninginvest.com/join if you support independent journalism. Stuff you're not going to see on the mainstream media. You're not going to see this on CNN. You're not going to see this on Fox. You're not going to see this on MSNBC. So this show is for you, real people.